All right, 3, 2, 1, boom. This is Energy Boom 101. We are trying a new format, by the way. You'll see it as it unfurls. Remember, kids, Energy Boom 101, where we drill the strata of self, frack the feelings of being, and chase the narrative. 3 incredibly dense statements that not so sure they mean anything. Doesn't matter. Here you are, checking out Boom U. The bubble and the buzz of the boom can be heard and seen in the background. That's been trademarked, by the way. The big story today is the format change here at the Energy Boom 101. We're trying to boost our ratings. Apparently, we have 25 followers. I'd love to see if any one of them is actually real. It may be 25 zombies, but be that as it may. And you're hearing some clearing of the throat there, some getting the bullfrogs out. It's early morning here. Crisp, frosty morn at Boom U. And we're gonna show you what we can do with the bells of Boom U. It's an amazing thing. It's called mindfulness between the bells of Boom U. And we're thinking about trademarking that too. We'll see. But the format is to seize the day, early. Blend in the bells of Boom U into this narrative and tell the story of an energy boom, which right now is just in a big hiccup because oil's collapsing, which is causing all sorts of fun things, which is why what we'll do every day is simply get this newspaper. There it is, the Oklahoman, easily one of the greatest newspapers ever, bar none. And we're just going to delve into it and see what it can tell us about the what's going on in this state, what's going on with this energy boom. And why, oh shit. Folks, at 2 minutes into the hour, here on the cellar, KCLR, or here, that's also the ticker symbol for Continental, which is no coincidence that here at Boom U, there's the bells, by the way. I know you can hear them in the background. You're hearing the cars in the foreground, you got the bells in the background. And that's the bubble and the buzz of the boom. As you got the muscle in the foreground, we're going to hear some badass muscle eventually. There's some dude that drives a badass, I don't know what the hell it is, but it's pretty amazing. It's, I don't know what it is. A Ferrari, maybe. It's unbelievable. You'll hear it. Anyways, from this shot right here, with that rather imposing 1973 architecture that's fucking unbelievable, by the way. That's fucking there was spelled P-H-U-C-K-I-N-G, so go fuck yourself. And that was spelled G-F-Y-S, so you can't do anything about that either. You can just listen to the bells in the background, and you can await the muscle in the foreground, both of those being the bubble and buzz of the boom. And the alliteration here is out of control. If we use B one more time, we're going to lose it. Boom, there it was. The story today is that we're going to just... We're just going to wildcat. Every day we're just going to get this glorious newspaper and we're going to wildcat it, which means we're just going to dig through for Gusher stories. And like, is this a Gusher story that Garth Brooks is coming to Tulsa? Sort of. Is this a Gusher story that Brooks and Dunn may be done? See the clever headline right in there? Pretty wicked, actually. That might be a bit of a Gusher story. But the real Gusher stories, you go straight to the business page. So we go swinging past the front page. There's Metro and State. You better get past that one. There's sports. Pretty wicked. Better get past that one. And then you go, boom, business. And you go, oh, holy shit, look at this. Ex-wife of Continental CEO accepts his nearly $1 billion check. Holy shit. Because if you remember, the 3 of you that actually survived the last dispatch, which was dumped a few days ago, and dumped would be the appropriate word. And by the way, we're coming in on 4 minutes and 20 seconds. When that happens, you're going to get a transparent barrel roll right through the Mobius strip of the mind. And when you come out, prepare yourself to get focused on Continental, Hank Hamm, ex-wife Sue Ann's $1 billion saga, and David Bourne being on the board of directors of Continental. And it's now 4 minutes and 20 seconds into it. Here comes the transparent barrel roll. And this is patented too, by the way. It's revolutionary. No one could ever possibly figure this one out. You've just completed a transparent barrel roll. Your mind has gone through the Mobius strip. And now we're going to check out Continental Resources, headed by Hank Hamm, who less than 2 months ago felt like that the divorce settlement was extremely fair and equitable. And that was before oil field prices collapsed. So, since then, he's, oh shit. There it is. There's some of the bubble and buzz of the boom sweeping past. You know, it's constantly happening here at Boom U. Even in sub $50 per barrel oil, it's constantly happening here at Boom U. And by the way, the price of oil is the speed at which the boom travels. Pretty easy correlation. Oil's at $53 a barrel, then the boom's traveling at 53 barrels per hour, per dollar per hour, per dollar per barrel. So it doesn't matter. Just figure it out. It's a really bad sort of analogy, but it works. It's clever, and we've already sold it. We've already trademarked it, and we've already monetized it. I think American Energy Partners is our sponsor that presents the speed at which the boom is traveling. Today, presented by American Energy Partners, headed by Aubrey McClendon. The speed at which the boom is traveling is the exact same thing as the price of oil on a barrel. So boom! Even though that's an oversimplification, because oil is priced in a variety of regions at a variety of prices. That said, we're going to simplify this thing. Just like we told you Columbus discovered America, we're going to tell you that the price of oil is basically under $50 a barrel, which means that the boom is traveling at under 50 barrels per hour. That was a pretty good little mash there. That's a mash of concepts, that's a mash of words, and it's 6 minutes and 9 seconds in to this show. I'm sure everyone has now decided just to quit and run for the hills, and I'm pretty sure they're going to pull the plug on me in about 3 more episodes. But I know we can rise like the Phoenix, because we're going to stay focused on Hank Hamm, Continental CEO, a $1 billion check that his wife, by the way, refused 2 days ago. You can see a picture of it. It went viral. It didn't go viral, actually. It should have. It's a handwritten check for $974 million on the bank of Morgan Chase from the account of Harold Hamm trustee, Hank Hamm, head of CEO, Continental Resources, and President David Bourne, president of Boom U, on the board of directors of Continental Resources. Really simple connection there, why this area is a huge portal to the global energy rainbow. Global energy rainbow, what's that? Well, read the Boom. It comes out once a month at best, by the way. A silly little newsletter that should be hitting the streets here in the next 2 weeks. And I've just been told by my attorneys that I have to keep this under 10 minutes or else the amount of prescription Adderall will double. So that was George Lopez, by the way, that just made that last comment, if you can believe that. He just came into the studio. Let's wrap up the big news of the day. We found our gusher. It didn't take long. And by the way, kids, that's just the top page. That's, by the way, that's called Above the Fold. This story right here is happening above the fold. Where's the fold? That's the fucking fold. Why is it a fold? Because that's the second half of it. Watch this. Boom, newspaper terminology, old school. By the way, newspapers have more value now than they ever had. As crazy as it sounds. It's like vinyl, it's like albums, kids. You'll figure it out. Anyway, you don't have to support your local newspaper. Let me put it this way. Enjoy it. Harvest it. Harvest your local newspaper for gushers. We're working over the Oklahoman like a drum, and it's the greatest, worst, maybe back to the greatest newspaper ever. I'll let you decide. Clearly has an agenda. That would be an understatement. Clearly has a foundational belief system based in traditional Christianity and probably a white God up in the sky. That would be another understatement. That can all be explained if you want me to, if we need to discuss their publisher, who out of Denver has enormous holdings in oil and gas and is also an enormous investor in wind energy, which is pretty interesting, because here's a story about wind energy. Anyway, we're getting close to that 10-minute mark. We just want to talk about the Continental saga. And the saga is that Hank Hamm of Continental and his wife started a divorce 2 years ago, and she initially filed for half of his net worth based on Oklahoma law that allows her to gather that. At that time, his worth was about $17 billion. He basically redirected the corporate page of Continental to change some dates that would allow his fortune to be reduced considerably. The judge accepted that. And by the way, it's so freaking cold outside right now, I may be risking hypothermia, so I'm going to be walking back in pretty quick here as soon as I wrap this up. I'll wrap up the Hank Hamm, Sue Ann Hamm saga. The judge accepted the revised corporate history and therefore awarded Sue Ann a little less than $1 billion, $974 million. Harold at the time, this was a couple months ago, said that's incredible, that's fabulous, that's equitable, let's move on. Sue Ann said bullshit, that I'm going to file an appeal, I should be getting $3 to $4 billion. The price of oil collapsed, and then Harold couldn't quite pay his first installment, which was $300 million in cash that was due at the end of this year to ex-wife Sue Ann. He probably was having a pinch paying that because the price of oil was collapsing, his stock was collapsing, and everything is collapsing. But It's just a collapse and expansion. It's just an accordion. Trust me, Hank Hamm and Continental aren't going broke. As a matter of fact, this may be one of the greatest times to buy really cheap cheeseburgers, which would be Shares and Continental. But I digress. We're now at close to 10 minutes, so I have to shut this thing down. Plus, it looks like we may have some OUPD officers coming around with straitjackets, so we're going to have to explain a few things to them. Suffice to say, I will end it with this quote concerning the Continental, the Hank Hamm, should I say, divorce saga. This quote is from Craig Box, one of the lawyers representing Harold Hamm. Quote, "We believe this ends her case," end quote, said Enid attorney Craig Cox. Now, her he's referencing is Harold's ex-wife, Sue Ann. So is this thing over? Probably, for the divorce. But the story of Hank Hamm and Continental is really just beginning. So if you want to stay up with that story and all that madness, join us here every day, maybe 2 and 3 times a day, here at Boom U for Energy Boom 101. And that's it, 3, 2, 1, boom.